Expensive taste. These girls got expensive taste. Listen, I'm the girls, and the taste is taxes. I just recently found out that people don't be paying their taxes like that. And like, I know that people don't pay their taxes. Like, I know people make the decision not to pay their taxes. But I know that like everybody, like there's a lot of people, and I'm just not talking about recently. I'm saying like it's been years that they haven't been paying their taxes. And in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather not. Are y'all paying your taxes? This feels like a tax paying audience. Like, I don't know. This audience feels very much so W2 energy. It's like y'all forget that I pay for stuff all year. It's like y'all charge me like I don't have to work for the money to pay you. Like, do you cause and effect? Cause and effect. It's like y'all charging me like I get paid enough. I'm triggered. Don't like phone charges. Don't like Dodge Chargers. So this particular video diary is a bit late because the footage that I actually have that is in sync, in line with what y'all have seen so far, it's been like a month since then. And so therefore that stuff ain't really that relevant anymore. So I'm actually going to focus on what has been going on recently. You've been seeing little clips here and there, if you follow me on Instagram, that I am coming out with a show, the Jade Fox show. Y'all, hopefully I should have a trailer for it soon. It's actually kind of been much of a process, and I'm trying to just go with the flow. But baby, this is my baby. It's literally called the Jade Fox show. And so I'm trying, oh baby, I'm trying to like allow things to just happen how they happen, production stuff. Something annoying is bound to happen. It's just what happens. Something annoying is always bound to happen, whether it be a sound thing, a lighting thing, an editing thing, a weird skip in the footage, color. It's just, there's always something, people being late, whatever. And one thing that I've learned in the process of creating this show is that I just have to let go. There are going to be things that are going to happen that are out of my control. Things can be 100% in my control and still go wrong. And I have to just learn to adjust. And so I'm trying not to put so much pressure on the prevention of things, and more so just keep my mind open enough and try to develop a flow within myself to allow pivoting and thinking to happen, to allow, a redirection of thought. So it's been a process, a humbling process at that. I will tell you, I've had to tap into a certain type of confidence to be able to direct this ship that is the show, but also I feel like it's so, my creative journey and then my journey to self are pretty much mirroring and parallel to each other right now. So whatever lesson I'm learning, or rather whatever lesson I'm learning in my life thing that I'm identifying within myself, I'm learning that, oh, that's something that I need to apply here in order to get the job done. And so it's been really interesting to move through challenges that I normally would have been a bit paralyzed by. I'm recovering a lot quicker. I bounce back a lot quicker. I'm a bit better on my feet. Like, I can feel myself getting better within, being a host of a show, within being, the leader of a small team, and within just, trying to pull this vision together. I actually just booked an appointment with a strategist, my homegirl Nicole. If you ever are wanting some clarity, I feel like I plugged her before, but I will put links for her booking in the description, because you can actually book time with her to help you kind of build out your creative roadmap. It's really interesting. So you can book a strategy session with her. So I actually just did that today. But I will say, sis got burnt out. Y'all, today is the first day that we shoot the first episode of the Jade Fox show. Where's my cards?
Hi.
Boom. This is something I've been working on for what feels like 2-ish, 3-ish months. it's required so many parts of me that I don't know if I was fully ready to, like, not ready to tap into, but like things that I've been known I needed to tap into. This whole experience has required me to tap into it. I don't know. I'm overwrought with anxiety in the moment to like really be able to talk about it fully. I think maybe at the end of the day, I could probably give you a different take, but yeah, this has just been a lot of time. There's been a lot of time spent on this. There's been a lot of money spent on this, and all because I just really believe in it. And I think that it just checks a lot of boxes in regards to like what I'm trying to do in my career, but also on a human level, like, is this something that I can be proud of? And the answer is yes. And we haven't even shot it yet. Literally this morning, doing last minute prep, getting the cards ready. We are working with a designer, but you know, that's going to take some time to get ready. So, but I'm trying to get in the zone. I'm gonna take my little stress pills. These right here are just about as close as you would get to a CBD, an anxiety medicine, something like that. Like, this is about as close to that as you're gonna get. I'm also trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna wear to this. And I feel like it's gonna be this. I feel like it's gonna be this. I don't know how much you can see, but got the pony hair, Wales bonner, shoes. I never got a chance to get a haircut because with the holidays, it's January. It's like first week of January. So, because with the holidays and everything, just like people got booked up and I just didn't have time. So, gonna have to rock the beanie for this episode. Amber, we have tomorrow, but probably not gonna get a haircut between that. Yeah, I gotta go. I don't know what I'm talking about. I gotta go. We got Marcus. We got Brittany.
So it's like a GoPro.
It's like what?
It's like their GoPro.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
I want their the
Jade back there.
The pocket. They have. Did you look at?
It's our set. Yeah.
The little mic.
You doing photos or the?
We're gonna do video right now, and I'll take the picture.
Okay. What up? We got Trey, the Melvin, for episode 1 of the Jade Fox show. We had a real good time. We're done. We're done. We did it, Joe. I'm home. The shoot is over. As you can tell, I have nothing left. I have nothing left. I have barely eaten today. Well, I had one bite of a croissant. It went as I think it went as I expected, but also not. It's just new, you know, like when you're just doing something new, like even the things that you have in your toolbox, you can rely on them, but the environment is new, or like the structure is new. And so it's always going to feel a little bit new, even if you're doing some not new shit in the new environment. So like, I'm trying to not be so nitpicky with myself and my performance today, or like with the set even. Like I don't forget who I was talking to, but it's different when you are starting a project with the awareness of how it's gonna look now is not how it's gonna look later, and there's gonna be things that we're gonna tweak. There's gonna be some things that are gonna be wrong that we're gonna correct at some point, but for now they're just gonna have to be wrong, or be untweaked. And so I'm trying to be okay with that. Whereas normally, like, that is something that you're not really thinking about when you start a project. You just start, and then, you know, it just takes shape and it evolves, and, you know. But I'm trying to just rest in my gratitude and be proud of myself for what I did today. Because I am. It's not that I don't feel these things. I think I am a perfectionist. Like, for the longest time, I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist because, like, I don't need things to be perfect. But the reality is, like, they need to be as close to perfect as possible, which is basically the same thing as a perfectionist. So I'm like, oh, maybe I am that. But yeah, me and Trey, we had a really great conversation today. And there was this point where he was talking about, like, it's not about being the best. It's about being, like, his best. And that's how I feel. I just think that I get critical when I know I'm not being my best, or when I know I'm not at my best. But the reality is I was today in a new thing, in a new space, occupying so many roles, bitch, from producer to director to the host to the this girl, like, I'm aware that I'm doing too many things and I need to offload some of this, but I have nothing. And I'm gonna order some food. I'm gonna smoke some ham hocks. I'm gonna put notes together. I was gonna say I was gonna rest. I am gonna rest. I'm gonna do that at some point tonight. I am gonna do that. But I'm also like, I kind of want to write down these notes while I have them in my head and I don't want to forget them. It's worth it, guys. It's worth it. It's early. Yeah. It's early and we got a 2-a-day today. We have 2 guests. We're filming not back to back. We've got a break in the middle. But with the break in the middle, we're going to be trying a few things. I was just telling Jaden that I had a moment in the shower the other night last night. And I thought to myself, you know what? We can really do whatever we want. We can try a bunch of stuff. You know, we're not locked into these things. So we're going to be trying something new today. But Jaden's ready. I'm ready. I'm bald. Jaden's not.
I'm a little bald.
No. Where?
I don't know. Who said something? I feel.
Okay. You see the icon. You see the fit. It's drippy. We got into it. About an hour. We got Lena away on the show. And I am the host, I'm the producer, I'm the PA, I am the assistant. I'm literally gonna go and get her water and snacks that she likes because, listen, we're lesbians. We like to make people feel comfortable. On our own dollar, period. I was happy to be done with the first wave of shooting and I'm actually about to gear up into the next. And what's so interesting is like, I can feel myself wanting to procrastinate. I can feel myself like, now that I'm back in an open, happy space and I'm, you know, not burnt out anymore, I can feel myself being like, damn, bro, do I really want to do this again? But I'm trying to, once again, find the flow, babe. Speaking of that. So I have been trying really intentionally to just look for more inspo in my life to help me remain creative, keep me thinking creatively. So I have some book recommendations if you need a push. I feel like when you want to get back to self, The 4 Agreements, she's always good. It's a short read. It's small. Also, this is a big deal for me. I really wanted to, I would say maybe 3 years ago, I really wanted to commit to reading more books because when you grow up with, you know, learning disadvantages, I feel like you just don't think that you'll be a smart person. I don't know how to describe that, but like if you grew up and you have some type of like learning disability, or if you're dyslexic, like there's this this belief that like, oh, I'm just not one of those academic people. I actually had to figure out, oh, I just need to read books that I actually like, and then your girl will become a reader. And so The 4 Agreements was the first book that like really got me into reading again, because I was reading about shit that I actually needed, like things that I was actually interested in. Read The Big Leap if you find yourself always getting in your own way. It talks a lot about being in your zone of genius and how you're operating high, you're able to do what you want to do and feel pleasure at the same time in doing those things. Like it talks about the zone of genius. I feel like this is just a book that speaks to that link between like your creative self and then your sense of self, like how you can unlock so much joy and sense of accomplishment and pleasure in all aspects of your life by getting closer to self. And when you get closer to yourself, you're able to like really examine, not necessarily like, yes, the why behind why you do things, but how you can almost like rewrite your whys, I guess. If you need a little like mammy titty moment and you need someone to just tell you everything's going to be okay. And I never actually finished it, but I did like what I read. So I'm gonna just add that there. I just started reading How to Go Mad Without Losing Your Mind. I'm not even gonna hold you. It's a little heady. I'm like, damn, am I in Hillman grad right now? Like, this book be feeling like, sister, one thing we need to do. It's like, oh my God. Like, this book feels like a brown suit. Like, let me just give you a little taste. Hold up. In its psychosocial iteration, madness often functions as a disparaging In its psychosocial iteration, madness often functions as a disparaging descriptor for any mundane phenomenon perceived to be odd and undesirable. An unconventional hairstyle, unpopular political opinion, physical tic, indecipherable utterance, eccentric outfit, dramatic flouting of apathy toward money or wealth, or experience of spiritual ecstasy might be coded as crazy in a psychonormative discourse. Yet it seems to me that psychosocial madness reveals more about the avowedly sane society branding an object crazy about the object so branded. Like, do you see how, like, when I read this book, I can feel the words like wrapping around my head and then like squeezing. Like, it's so hard for me to just like, what is going on? Like, they're drawing comparisons between the expression of madness versus the expression of the emotion behind madness as it relates to the Black experience specifically. There's this episode about finding your flow on the Small Doses podcast with Amanda Seals. I actually just joined her Patreon, and I really got something out of it. There was something that kind of hit me about that particular episode.
Whereas honestly, if you really, I believe, just go with the way that your body and your heart and your soul are telling you to, that you actually will land where you need to. But it's so difficult to do that because we live in a world that's on a grid. We live in a world that is so often committed to this grid. It is so like, we have to do this way, and then this way, and then this way, you know, and this is how the protocols go for this. And then these are the steps for this. And this is the processes for this. It is wildly unnerving. And it's not attached to necessarily morals or values or freedom. It's not attached to any of those things, which are at the tenets of flow. So you're like, how do I make these things come together? And you have to decide, like, I am going to commit to really allowing myself to let flow happen. Because that's the other part. You have to be the remover of the force by letting flow happen. And letting flow happen requires you even knowing you.
She don't miss when it comes to the takes, when it comes to just the way that she uses her words. It's so, I don't know, it's so... They just land with me in a way that, you know, other people aren't able to do. And so I appreciate that podcast a lot because I feel like it's really insightful. She's so fucking smart and a really good host, a really good mediator for a lot of the conversations that she has on that platform. And I appreciate what Amanda Seals does. I appreciate the risks that she takes. And she's someone that I feel like I didn't really feel too much alike with, but once I started listening to her podcast, I was like, oh sis, it's giving sister, like we are the same. And yeah, I'm just getting a lot out of it, so I would highly recommend that podcast. She's just very much in her head but also in her feels. I think she's like a cancer, she had double cancer, I'm pretty sure. So of course, you know, we get into emotions and trauma and shit like that. But it's really interesting because I am of the mindset that everything is linked. I think that there's a reason why I'm experiencing success in my work as I'm experiencing success within my soul. It's so weird to say shit like that out loud and mean it. I hope that you are well. I will see y'all very soon in another one. Bye.